People are using AIs, pretend to kidnap you, and then call your parents and demand money, like a ransom situation. Let me go ahead and tell you what happened to me.
DIY.
I would be irresponsible to give you all these tools talking about AI without giving you the warnings of how some of these fools out here, aka human beings, are abusing the privilege that we have to use these tools. An account that I follow on Instagram is called Metaverse, talks about a scam that is going around that we should all be aware of. It says if any audio exists of you on the internet, which for most of us it does, your voice can be replicated almost identically in just a few seconds. This is being used to scam people's family members and acquaintances all over the internet. Spread this far and wide and make sure everyone in your circle understands the reality of the scam.
I've been crying for the past 2 hours because I thought my little brother was dead. Somebody out there used an AI machine to trick my grandpa into thinking my little brother got in a wreck and died. He mimicked my brother's voice and said, "Oh, I'm about to get in a wreck," and then the phone went off. My grandpa called me and told me this, and I immediately thought my brother was dead. I started driving, trying to find his location. He wasn't picking up. And I come to find out that it was a scammer that was trying to get money from my grandpa by calling and saying that he went to jail and he killed someone and he needed bail money.
These are definitely the things that we have to be aware of these, especially to protect those who we know are not going to really engage with AI on their own. There's going to be a generation, probably the generation before me, that's just going to refuse to touch any of it. All they see is the negative. And stories like this only reinforce their reason for not messing with it. But just because they choose not to dabble in it, it doesn't mean that it's not going to come find them wherever they're at via a phone call, imitating somebody that you know, somebody that you love, somebody that you're not able to decipher if that's really them, or if that's somebody who took a script, sampled their voice from an Instagram post, from a TikTok post, and is now utilizing that to take advantage of someone who just doesn't know any better.
AI shit is getting out of hand. There's a new AI scam that you need to be aware of, and it's absolutely terrifying. If you have ever uploaded any video to the internet, a TikTok, YouTube video, any video to the internet, you and your family could be hit by this, so keep watching. This morning, my grandparents received a call from me claiming that I was in a bad car accident and that I needed them to send me money. I do not even own a car. I've not driven a car in the last 6 months.
Wow. Two things I get from this already. One, somebody could choose to use AI and AI just goes off on a tangent and just does what it does it to a really high quality. But one detail could derail that entire scam. The fact that this man has never driven before. Yet here's the AI saying, "Hey mom," or "Hey dad, I just got into a car accident." Baby, I thought you didn't drive. Oh, yes, I started driving last week. Like, we know AI don't sound like that, but the fact that one detail can slip all of that stuff up. Second thing, remember during the pandemic when everybody was taking photos and seeing what the older version of them looked like? And people were warning like, man, don't do that because they're going to use your identity and yada, yada, yada. How do we know that that's not algorithm training or AI training for how accurate a lot of this stuff is? A lot of this stuff has already been in motion.
Obviously, that was not me, but they were close to taking a second mortgage out in order to pay the scammer because they thought it was me. The reason that they believed it was me is because it sounded exactly like me. Thankfully, though, my dad was there and he called me to verify that it was actually me, and it wasn't, so they didn't pay him.
Like, that's not funny. Ain't nothing funny about that at all. Taking a second mortgage out, that's terrible. But judging by this video, you already kind of sound like AI. I'm not even gonna hold you. You kind of, maybe you're reading a script, but you already kind of like, I can't tell if you AI or if AI is AI. I don't know. Are you Alvin Iverson? Or are you AI? I don't know who you are. You feel me? Like, it's not funny, Kurt. It's not funny.
I saw something on TikTok that scammers are using AI to clone your voice and scam your loved ones out of money, and I thought nothing of it. Yeah, sure, that's probably possible with AI, but that's not gonna happen to me, right? Oh boy, was I wrong. If you have ever put out a video with you speaking in it on the internet, please be careful, because all they need is a short audio clip and they can clone your voice. Seriously, consider making a secret code between you and your small group of loved ones so that you guys can verify that you're actually speaking to one another.
That was probably the most sound advice of any of the stuff. You got to take all of this with a grain of salt. Yes, this is important to educate yourself, educate others about being taken advantage of things that could rock your entire day. The way human beings disclose their personal business on social media, it's only going to make technology and folks who are abusing the technology, it's only going to make it easier for them to abuse it and utilize the information that you have given. People will get scammed. It's going to happen. But I think this is another reason why it's very important to start to engage with this shit and then figure out, as he said, all right, well, let's figure out a tool. This is what human beings do, by the way. We see what happens and we evolve around the circumstances. Some assholes decide they want to scam. Okay, cool. Well, let's figure out a code word that only you and I know. Never send me money unless I say this. This is how you verify whether or not it's me. That's just going to be part of the evolution. It sounds crazy because we've never had to do it before, but there's a lot of things we never had to do before 2020 that we had to do. It's part of the evolution of life.
I live in Arizona, and this actually happened to me and my family. People are using AIs to pretend to kidnap you and then call your parents and demand money, like a ransom situation. Let me go ahead and tell you what happened to me. My mom got a phone call. This guy said that he got in a car accident with me. He said that his car was messed up and he couldn't drive it. And then he proceeded to say that he had me in the back of his truck tied up. He was saying that he was going to kill me and that he was going to hurt me.
Wow.
And this is where the trippy AI shit comes into play. My mom has been a flight attendant for 35 years with Southwest. She has been in some insane situations. She has been trained to handle all of these situations and realize what to do calmly and help people. She is not easily fooled when it comes to scams. Moral of the story, she's very level-headed and she knows what to do in crisis.
Shout out to moms.
And I hear my daughter's voice and it says, "Mom," and she's sobbing. And I was, "What happened?" And she's like, "Mom, I messed up," and she's sobbing and crying. And then I hear a man's voice say, "Put your head back, lie down." And then I'm like, wait, what's going on? And this man gets on the phone and he's like, "Listen here, I've got your daughter. This is how it's gonna go down.
Wow.
You call the police, you call anybody. I'm gonna pop her stomach so full of drugs, I'm gonna have my way with her and I'll drop her off in Mexico." And at that moment I just start shaking. I'm like, "What?" In the background she's going, "Help me, Mom, please help me," and bawling.
And you have absolutely no doubt in your mind that that was her voice.
Oh, 100% her voice. 100% her.
I don't use this to scare anybody. If anything, this is not to discourage you from interacting with AI. This is to encourage you further to be educated about it and at least have some kind of interaction right now with it. Because the people who are like, "Man, F this AI stuff, bro, it's gonna do. These scammers are coming after you first because they know that you have not been exposed to it enough to be able to decipher whether or not this is the real deal or whether this thing is fake. How do they know that? Because you have made your emotions very clear across the internet how much you don't care for AI. You're dealing with a different enemy here. Somebody who's able to find all of your archive videos, all of your audio, and then tell a story based upon a prompt that could make someone very close to you give money, pull out a mortgage to save your life, panic, call the police. At that point, it is more of a security risk for you not to know anything about AI and to not be able to recognize some of the subtle things that don't feel like human conversations. It's like, "You're acting weird." What do you mean? This is weird. It's just me. It's me. How do you like? You're going to be able to pick up on that stuff the more that you spend time with it. So for your security, you got to know what's around you. If for nothing else, protect your folks, your time, your hard-earned money. Protect yourself. Educate yourself. That's all I'm saying. That's my only purpose here. DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.